Hey guys, I had a little bit of interest in people curious about the insane editing process that I go through because I'm a crazy person. And as I was going to start on working on the next episode, I figured I would do a little bit of streaming stuff that shows some of the things that I go through to get the show into the state that I like it. Um, so we usually record at current with OBS, and I just record the episode or the game session more appropriately. And then I upload it to my YouTube as like a second to third state backup. Um, Thanks to the Patreon, I did end up buying a separate external hard drive that I keep the files in process of on. Like, I'll have the raw file, I'll have the slightly edited raw file that I put up on the Patreon stuff with it's got all the things in there. It's just cleaned up a little bit, and I'll show a little bit of what I mean by that in a second. Um, and then the finalized version of the actual episode as it's going to be released. Um, and then the YouTube is like, if everything goes horribly wrong, I can still go on there, re-download the file in its like basest form, and start over. Which thankfully I haven't really had to do yet. Um, but that's at current. We've been messing around with CraigBot a little bit. That is supposed to record each person on their uh, own individual track, and then like send you a link where you can download those tracks. And I have a couple of sessions that are recorded that way. That when I catch up to them, I'm going to try messing with those. I'm a little scared, honestly, because it's a new and different way of doing things, and things that are new and different are scary. Um, but with that out of the way, uh, we're just going to do a couple minutes worth of this episode because I don't want to make a giant thing because otherwise you're gonna be here forever. So this is the raw audio file. Um, you can see in here how it's got at the zero mark. I'm pointing at the screen. It doesn't do me any good. The zero mark right here. There's this thick line above it. I'll zoom in a little bit here, and this is really just background noise. It's nothing. Um, so what I do, because uh, the whole track is filled with that stuff behind things.
So this is April.
So we just kind of like select that. We get up here in effects, noise reduction, get that background noise profile there, and then I'm going to do it in a section. Just have it go through and rip all of that out, and you can see that it's all just gone. And now when you listen to it,
So this is April 11th, part one.
pretty simple stuff. Uh, Doing that over the entirety of the file usually takes a couple of minutes, just because it's doing a whole lot of stuff.
Anybody remember?
Uh, the next thing I usually do is there's a click removal, but that's not really gonna come into play for this. I'm gonna see if I can find a spot that has one. This might be it.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh.
that little snap, that little like click is you don't even really notice as you're talking. That should come out with this. Yeah,
Oh.
not nearly as harsh, but still kind of there. Uh, in this situation, I will then go in and manually move the cursor with my arrow keys,
Cool.
and then just kind of delete it that way. Um, the other thing I do at this stage before I like consider it raw air quotes for what I would do with the patrons. Um, I don't know if I have a section here that's gonna be long enough. Let me zoom and see if I can find one. there's one. Where'd you go? So this is a lot of empty air.
So it sounds.
So again, over the entirety of the thing, after I've hit the noise reduction, after I've hit the click removal, the last thing I'll do is a truncate silence, which is going to take this from, let's call it like 646, I guess that is. That's what? Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's like 8 or 9 seconds of dead air.
So it sounds.
Much shorter period of time. It helps to keep the flow of conversation moving and from people just like mindlessly milling about. When those are all done, I will then export it as a WAV file and run it through. Actually, let me just flip over to this one. No, that's the wrong one. And then this would be kind of what we got left, but this is a little all over the place, as you can see. This has had the clicks taken out. This has had the silence limited. This is, let me see how long, 38 minutes long. The raw version is 44 minutes long, so you lose about 6 minutes worth of needless silence when you do it that way. Then there's a program called Levelinator, I believe is what it's called. And I'll just drop the whole file in there, and it will go from looking kind of like this, where you can see in here there's some dips and some low points, to looking more like this, where it's a lot more consistent across the board. That's actually more appropriate there, because this is 8 minutes, and you can see all of the dips and stuff. And then I'll start with this to actually begin removing stuff. And let's do a couple minutes of that so you can see my methodology here.
So this is.
That's got to go. Usually I just silence things, because this way I'm not actually removing the space, and when I hit the truncate silence thing, it'll just all shorten down to the same amount. I also like to remove a lot of stuff that is not relevant. So this beginning part where we talk about what episode and date, that's just for me down the line, so that I know where it's at in the overall recording, I guess.
So this is April 11th, part 1.
No, useless.
Anybody remember super where we left things off? So I kind of don't, because I'm a bad person. Fuck. Anybody remember where we left off? Because I don't, because I'm kind of a bad person, and I totally forgot to hit my push to talk button that time. So, great.
I think we were in a hotel room.
I'm a bad person and forget my push to talk button, apparently.
I think we just woken up or something.
Valerie had just relayed all the information that she had regarding the train station.
Oh, right.
And apparently had some real talk with Boz at some point.
Yeah, after everyone else went to bed, they chatted about health stuff. I don't know how far we got after that.
I totally don't remember health stuff, chat. I'm a bad person that doesn't pay attention.
You don't remember, like, RC talking to Boz about how, like, Valerie's not looking so good, and Boz was like, I don't know, like, it's her business.
I thought you meant with Valerie. I'm a bad person.
Well, she did afterwards. She told RC that she would talk to Valerie, and she did.
I think we had a week off or something.
Boz basically said, we got your back. You got to keep us in the loop, kind of thing.
Cool. I should totally,
I don't remember that at all.
I don't. If I was a good person and kept up on my editing, this would all be in memory, but it's not.
As was mentioned, this is from April, so whoops.
I can tell you all about like the legwork you guys just did on the auction job, but that's not important. So was there anything else you?
All right, right about here is where I think we're going to start getting into some of the actual episode that will have to be tweaked.
So was there anything else you guys wanted to do to pick up after your heart-to-heart conversation, or?
I'm already going to go ahead and I'm going to try click removal on this again. And you can see a little bit of change if you.
So was there anything else you guys wanted to do to pick up after your heart-to-heart conversation, or?
Still a little popping in there. I don't really know how to remove that per se, but the click removal stuff usually does it. At least
are you guys just happy to move along? Are you guys just happy to move along?
See, now this.
Just happy to move along.
I think we really got to know exactly where we left off. Kind of. I guess you could fix it in editing, but
I mean, pretty much one of the last things we discussed were the plans that we had come up with, and the fact that Val said, yeah, she could get into the host, and she figured out where all the information is that she would need to edit. I don't know that we did much after that.
I don't remember if we did. So
I think.
Man,
wait. Apparently, y'all were going to talk to the lady about anything that we still need. We haven't done that yet.
Oh yeah, that's right. We were about to go do that. Mary Sue's gonna ask for
and by we, I mean Boz and Mary Sue.
Man, this was a bad episode to try and do this on because there's several minutes of just recapping to worry about here.
Are you guys just happy to move along?
Is Boz going? She can go.
That's what I
What
have
are we
in my
asking
notes.
for?
Didn't you want like a plane, like a VTOL?
No, we don't need a plane. We don't need a VTOL.
Okay.
That's
What
the
did we
last
need?
thing. Yeah, that's the last thing I had in my notes was
No.
that we were compiling a list of stuff that we needed to go talk to Lady because we hadn't done that yet.
Yeah, we wanted a night to sort of settle in and figure out what we needed. Did we come up
Yeah,
with anything that we do
I
need?
don't think we have a list of stuff I'm willing to go and ask.
That's right. You guys didn't do anything in between the sessions during the week like you were gonna.
We didn't do homework.
So they had we had cut off the session last time. Now that I'm remembering it, and one of the things I like to do is when we hit a big planning section, to kind of hit that at the end of a session, so that this way between that recording date and the next recording date, we can talk in the Discord about items they might want to buy. Hi, Diva. My cat's wonderful. Talk about gear they might want to buy, talk about people they might want to talk to, put out just a general like shopping list of things that they were going to get. Apparently they didn't do it this time because they're terrible people just like I am.
That's good. I can just delete this first like 4 minutes of stuff. It'll be wonderful.
Were we supposed to do homework? What homework?
We were supposed to come up with what we were going to ask for a lady, and we didn't.
Yeah, if you guys want to ask any like, if you guys wanted to buy any gear, that kind of thing.
Because we're thinking some of us need to be on the train. I still don't like that.
See, and then I just had to delete it like I said I was gonna.
We're thinking some of us need to be on the train. I still don't like that idea because I don't like being stuck on the train.
Well, we get off the train with it.
So I'm actually just going to start editing from here. And one of the things that has kind of happened since I've been doing this for so long is this little bit right here. That is a deep intake of breath, and that's I can see it, so it's got to go. Ums also got to go.
Well, we get off the train when the whole thing goes off, right? But we need to be on there in order to disconnect the train because it's a physical thing. So someone's got to be on there. And
Is it a physical thing? Is it a physical thing?
Yeah, that's what we
Yes,
kind
we
of did.
determined.
We decided it was a physical thing.
That
It's a
whole
physical thing. So someone's got to be on there. And
Is it?
that whole conversation there about it being physical, it doesn't need to be there because in the previous thing we talked about it being a physical thing. Boss just stated it's a physical thing. So Mary Sue, like the questioning of Mary Sue over the thing, doesn't need to be present because it is stated this is what it is. Coming back into it to question its existence in that way is just like I'm bad at this and I apologize. Boss stated somebody needs to be on there because it's a physical thing. It is a physical thing because we talked about it in the previous episode when they were doing their legwork and a little bit of their knowledge skill rolls. The final, I guess the final lock or the final release mechanism, the failsafe as it were, is a physical thing that you have to manually do to release the train car. So rather than flood the recording with more information than that is needed, like Mary Sue and Boss going back and forth about whether or not it's physical doesn't actually contribute. So cut.
we decided there's a fail safe, right? There's a fail safe, right?
Okay.
You can't. Yeah, it's to prevent exactly what we're doing from.
So more of that conversation was gone, but then there's this bit where Boss is talking.
It's to prevent exactly what we're doing. It's to prevent.
So we're gonna come back here. I'm gonna take all of this silence out, and then I'm gonna kind of listen to this as a thing to decide whether or not I want to keep that second part.
Train because it's a physical thing. So someone's got to be on there, and it's to prevent exactly what we're doing from happening without someone being there to undo it.
It sounds a little redundant. Let me give it another one.
It's a physical thing. So someone's got to be on there, and it's to prevent. So someone's got to be on there, and it's to prevent.
Try taking this out.
But we need to be on there in order to disconnect the train because it's a physical thing. It's to prevent exactly what we're doing from happening without someone being there to undo it.
So we get on the car, disconnect it, and then we ride it to a stop. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Or the train has already stopped when you disconnect.
So we get on the car, disconnect it, and then we ride it to a stop. Okay.
There's a little bit of that poppiness in there. Like,
So we get on the car, disconnect it, disconnect.
it's like right here you can hear it.
Disconnect it, and then we ride it to a stop. Okay.
In this like end area. So I'm gonna try this click removal here.
Disconnect it, and then we ride it to a stop.
And it gets rid of some of that.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Or the train.
One of the I shouldn't say one of the problems. One of the things that sometimes people will do is they'll stutter. So they try to think about what they are wanting to say and that kind of stuff. Here we have. I'm just go ahead and I'll just take that first.
Or the train has already stopped. The train has already.
Something about that sounds off.
The train has already.
I think it's this.
Or the train has already stopped when you disconnect and it just moves away with it.
I think I deleted a little too much.
Or the train has already stopped.
A little too much of a pause in there.
Or the train has already stopped when you disconnect and it just moves away without it. One of the two.
The train has stops. I don't know.
One of the two.
The train has stops. I don't know if the train has stops or if it's a non-stop. I don't know.
Well, that's why we're getting it at the switch. It's hopeful. Like, it doesn't necessarily stop. I don't know. I guess we'll find out when we're on it, but we need to be ready for both scenarios, I guess. One of the.
This is more conversation from people getting back into it, so that's all gone.
Yeah, I believe at this juncture, Val. Yeah, I believe
take out that beginning, right? That's what it was.
Yeah.
Basically the same thing.
I believe at this juncture,
Goodbye,
Val for certain is going to be on the train.
and then just get rid of some of the silence so that it flows a little better.
I believe at this juncture, Val for certain is going to be on the train.
And one of the more recent things I've learned is like this right here.
Juncture.
The chur that's kind of drug out, I can go into it. I can go to change tempo and shorten it up.
This juncture, Val for certain is going to be on the train.
And this was a little clicky, which apparently I can do nothing. Which I can do nothing about.
For certain is going to be on the train. That was my understanding anyway.
You don't need to know that.
Okay, and I think Mary Sue was going to be on the train to make sure Val. Okay, and I think Mary Sue was going to be on the.
Just a little manual removal there.
Okay, Mary Sue was going to be on the train to make sure Val had somebody social to smooth things over. Okay, Mary Sue was going to be on the train to make sure Val had somebody social to the train to make sure Val had somebody social to smooth things over if there was an issue. So
I thought actually we had decided.
So here we have
So.
so is kind of like it's become a bane of my existence recently. So I'm going to clip that, and then the second part
I thought
is part of a duplicate to what Boz is about to say.
I thought actually we had decided that Boz was going to take a one of those devices. I can take a one of those. Boz was going to take a one of those
So this is player stumbling.
devices. I can never remember this. It's like a splitter or something that she can use to get Val into the system, and Val would just ride in the truck.
Data tap?
Data tap. Data tap. Thank you. I was going to take a. Going to take a data tap. Thank you. Tap. Thank you.
And I'm going to try and make this sound a little bit better here.
I was going to take a data tap. We could do. Going to take a data tap. We could do either way. It's just we could do either way. It's just remember us talking about that.
No, I totally got it. I totally got it because all right, I got it. So we can go to Lady and say, I just need to buy. I need them to procure for me a skill active soft, so that way I can be social. It'll be fine.
That is totally a thing you can do.
So this is where my backlog becomes handy. We're like 2 months from when this was recorded. Remember at the beginning it said something about April, and now we're in July. But here they talk about getting a Skillsoft.
I totally got it because, all right.
This is not something that actually ends up happening. Just as like a I guess spoiler-ish kind of thing. They just never end up doing it for various reasons. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this whole section out because it has become non-relevant. And Shadowrun's one of those interesting situations because so much of it is wrapped up in planning and plotting and analysis and finding out clues and all of that other stuff. But the more they talk, and this is going to sound bad, but the more that the players talk about things, the more your ideas and stuff can get convoluted and mixed up. So stuff that doesn't really pertain to what is going on, or since I have this backlog, like this run has already been completed and we're a couple of sessions afterwards, so I know that they never end up going with the social skill soft things for Valerie. I'm just going to take this section out so that when people are listening to it, they don't hear them talking about this, and then later on they're not like, oh, weren't they going to go get some skill softs for her? And then as listeners, you don't have all of this extra information in there that in the end doesn't really ever really become relevant, and it can only really serve to enhance your confusion as to what's going on. Shadowrun's got enough of that already, and I don't really need more, so just delete it.
Yeah, see? It'll be fine. Oh, wait. Holy shit. I already have an active soft for performance. Huh.
You could sing them in the words of your people. So it sounds like we're on to the next morning where you guys...
Yep.
Alright. So that's all of that's done. And I'm obviously going to go back and redo this section when I actually sit down to edit this episode because I want to give it my full attention. Ignoring the fact that I've got music in my earbuds underneath the headset, I want to give it the attention that I know my neurosis is going to need.
I thought actually we had decided that Buzz was going to take a data tap.
So it sounds like we're on to the next morning where you guys are going to do stuff. Now, where you guys were going to want... So it sounds like we're on to the next morning where you guys are going to do stuff. Now,
so because I know I'm about to restate those things, I'm just going to delete this.
Where you guys were going to, one, find out how you can arrange to get stuff at the back of the train, potentially do some shopping with Lady, and...
So this stuff right here just needs to be tightened up so that it's an actual sentence. My cat wants to come up onto my lap or something, it looks like. Hey.
Potentially do some shopping with Lady, and potentially deal with the ancients that you were setting yourselves up with.
2 little bips. They gotta go.
Yes.
Sound good?
Alright, well, what do you guys want to do first?
Little pips gotta go.
Oh, I know what we need from Lady. I know what we need from Lady.
I got a double speak in there.
I know what we need.
So I'll just...
I know what we need from Lady.
Went too far.
I know what we need from Lady, actually.
Tighten this.
For
That little lip smack. Gotta go. Take this little nub off.
for however many people are,
Starting with an so that's gotta go.
for however many people are going to be on the train, we should get gas masks for everybody so that we have that as an option to like clear the car. Oh, we have that as an option to like clear the car. Speaking of homework, did you actually watch the Firefly episode that you said you were going to?
No, I'm lazy.
Oh, we all suck at homework apparently.
Non-game related tangent. Gone.
Indeed. But yeah, gas masks would. Gas masks would be good.
The way that you guys go, you're not getting on the train today. You know, you got so much other homework and stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so how about we do the...
So there's all of that side tangent stuff gone. And we're just going to look real quick because we're... Let's see. 4.5 minutes. Let's go to 5 minutes.
All right, so how about we do the train stuff first?
Some clicking in there, so I'm going to run the click removal over that again.
All right, so how about we do the train stuff first?
I'll try one more, see if it... I don't actually know what doing it multiple times does. I'm not an audio engineer, that's very, very clear.
All right, so how about we do the train stuff first?
which you can kind of hear it changing a little bit.
Make sure that nothing pops up after doing that, and then pops up.
Delete this space to make the sentence flow.
Nothing pops up after doing that. Nothing pops up after doing that, and then we'll go to Lady.
Hang on. I thought the big thing was we were gonna
Needless text. Or voice, I guess I should say.
I thought the big thing was we were gonna have to wait till a little bit closer to the depart date.
Valerie has a habit of drawing out words.
To wait till a little.
So I just kind of up the tempo on them and
I thought the big thing was we were gonna have to wait till a little bit closer to the depart date for me to go in and change it and not have anybody realize that it's been changed, because a bunch of people will look at it between now and then. That's what.
Yeah, we were gonna go do the.
That's what.
Yeah, we were gonna go do the train stuff and find out what.
That's what.
We were gonna go do the train.
a lot of people talking there.
Go do the train stuff and find out when that close time, what the window was.
Try to remove some of that snapping.
When that close time, what.
Alright, apparently not.
What the window was.
Oh, that's right. You guys were gonna go socialize.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Did you? Yeah. Did you get? By the way, did you get? Because I know that one of the things you need to go in and get the file so that you can change it when you need to. Have you already done that, or is it something you still have to do?
So there was a lot of word salad in there. Like, listen to this first section.
Yeah. Did you get? By the way, did you get?
He starts a sentence and then rewords the sentence through it. So I'm gonna go fix it.
Yeah. Did you get? By the way, did you get?
Goodbye.
Because I know that one of the things you need to go in and get. Because I know that one of the things.
The whole "cause I know" part is not relevant.
By the way, did you get? One of the things you need to go in and get the. You need to go in and get. Things you need. By the way, did you get? One of the things you need to go in and. One of the things you need to go in and get the files that you. By the way, did you get? One of the things you need to go in and get the files that.
I think I can take this part out.
Go in and get the. One of the things you need to get the files that. Yeah. By the way, did you get? One of the things you need to get the files. By the way, did you get the files so that you can change it when you need to? You can change it when you need to. So that you can change it when you need to.
I'm actually gonna copy some of that silence.
Files that you. So that you.
Put it in there.
Did you get the files so that you can change it when you need? Yeah. By the way, did you get the files so that you can change it when you need to? Have you already done that?
I feel like some of this S needs to go on the back.
By the way, did you get the files so that you can change it when you need to? Have you already done that, or is it so that you can change it when you need to? Have you already done that, or is it something you still have to do? Yeah. By the way, did you get the files so that you can change it when you need to? Yeah. By the way, did you get the files so that you can change it when you need to?
I already found the file, I believe. If I remember correctly.
All right, we're halfway done that part.
So right around here, we've got we got through 5 minutes plus of the raw stuff that we have then started clipping out of, and if we go and we zoom out a little bit, you're going to see a bunch of these empty spaces here. And this is just to kind of give you an idea of how much I chop. So I'm going to take this whole 5 minute section here. I'm going to copy that just for, I'm going to put it down here in this separate stereo track. So that I can, I guess, make a demonstration of, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. So here's a second track of the same stuff that we were just messing with. And now I'm going to truncate that silence to reduce a lot of that that dead air that we had in it. And that 5 minute section that we had is now down to under 2 minutes of time. And that's just, granted, a lot of that was a really large section that we took out because it was them talking about stuff that happened last session and getting back on track for this session. But that's coming to the end here.
If anybody realized that it's been changed, because a bunch of people will look at it between now and then. That's what.
Yeah. Go do the train stuff and find out when that close time, what the window was.
Oh, that's right. You guys were going to go socialize the file, I believe.
That's kind of how that goes. And I just want to scoot ahead back up here. One of the things I have been doing recently is a more rapid fire of certain things, like this little pip here. I can tell that that's nothing. Gone. This is a deep breath. This looks like an
Fine with her.
Oh, I was wrong. More garbage. This is a laugh, I think. This is probably garbage. Yep, that is somebody either adjusting their mic or their mic moving. This is probably like a tisps. No, that's the start of a word. This is a deep breath. Garbage. This is more garbage.
We all know.
It's the start of a D.
We all know. We all know.
That was actually important, it seems. This looks like a f. Aha, you see that?
With his.
It's like a f or a th.
With his.
Junk. More junk. This is a pair of deep, like.
Bother myself, via the flashback.
So all these little things that I know that you guys never hear, even when like you're listening to other podcasts. I can see them there, and I know that they're there because I can hear them when I isolate them. But when you listen to the whole thing,
yeah, you could just hand her a couple, and she could.
Yeah,
you.
You probably wouldn't ever hear that if you didn't know it was here, because if I do this.
Yeah, you could just hand her a couple, and she could stick them in her pocket, and you could follow her like.
Just like with this.
Follow her like. Follow her like. Follow her like.
It's all these little tiny things. This looks like it might be an
Yeah,
that one was an This is garbage. This is kind of my day. And the funny thing is a lot of these, like this right here, I just took that little bit out, which if I go to truncate this, it doesn't move because it's got these little things in here. But if I take it out, it shoots down a little bit because it no longer has that, I guess you would call it like like an island or a little skipping stone in there to break up the silence. It's just loud enough to be that way. That was a squeaky chair. And this is kind of my life. Hunting out all of these little things, selecting some of the words and sentences to remaster. This is... Yeah, that was a really deep breath. More microphone garbage.
All right.
See if I can find a dice roll.
Do you want to hit up the train yard?
Well, I think I would ask Val to. It's like super busy.
Oh, no, that's not coming up.
Sure.
What you want, kitty? I hear you down there.
That
More uhs. More garbage. More garbage. This is a deep breath.
Great.
Oh, more junk. And that's kind of where it goes.
So like the train yard itself, then.
I don't really know if there's anything else you guys wanted to do besides seeing me struggle with this little bit here. It is we'll call it a labor of love, because I have some ridiculous standards. As I hope this maybe illustrates a little bit. I don't really know what I'm doing when it comes to editing or any of that actual stuff. This is all stuff that I've kind of picked up by myself. But if you have any questions, I'll be happy to try and answer them to the best of my very limited ability. But that's been about 8.5 minutes of this episode. And then I'll probably go through the rest of this maybe later tonight or something like that. And this, apparently, since I started streaming, has been about 45 minutes. It usually takes me a while to get an episode done because I don't sit and dive headfirst into it. I have music playing. I will do something like right now I'll go and I will hit truncate silence over the entire thing, and you're gonna see that it's gonna tick up to a couple of minutes to do. And while it's doing this, I'll tab over to YouTube or something and watch a 3-minute video on something stupid. And then I'll come back to it, or I'll click over to Discord and I'll shit post over there or on Reddit or something. And then I'll come back to it. But, this says it needs 45 seconds. I would have probably been watching a video for like 4 minutes, so it takes me a little bit longer than usual to do it that way. And there goes everything shifting down. This is now a 29-minute episode, so I'm probably going to have to merge 2 recordings together to make it fit. Sometimes I feel really bad about the length of episodes that I don't that I release, because it's like, whoops. But thank you guys for all of the support and stuff that we have been receiving on the podcast. It's crazy, and you guys are great. Thanks.